that we've got to solve, but we're learning. So second year, 2017, we've increased the cover crop to an 8-way cover crop, no agrochemicals, no fertilisers, based on work that's been done at Cotswold Seeds, which I've just come back from, and English and German and Canadian research actually covers, and they don't understand why, it says science is catching up with the farmers, but a multiple cover crop of beneficial microbes in residence proportionally produces a better crop yield than applying 200 kilos of nitrogen fertiliser per hectare. So that means if you put 8 cover crops in, you do not need to put fertiliser down, nitrogen fertiliser. This is science. This is not me saying it, so we believe that, and we're going to do that. So I went to Paul and I said, well, what do you reckon, Paul? Are we going to run with it? And he's turned around and he says, no fertilisers in that field next year. So that will be the first Jersey Royal potato field with no fertilisers and no chemicals. It's going to be a bit scary. But we're going to do it our best, you know. But unfortunately, Paul has to take the risk on this. He doesn't get any subsidies to take the risk. Okay, so he's running, you know, call it £8,000 or whatever it is. He has potential to actually lose if it all goes wrong. But he's willing to do that, which I think is really, really amazing. You know, we need more Pauls out there to take this huge risk if we're going to clear it out. We don't know what this, you know, we don't have the answers to everything, but what we are doing is we're learning. Every year we're learning. And that's, I think, what it's all about. So,
you did mention that the field he let you play with is classified as his worst field.
Oh yeah. Yes, it was a PCM 6 when I got hold of it. After you injecting the microbes, putting the cover crop in, going through the potatoes and everything else, as the film, if we get it to play, says, Paul stood up and says, there's no PCM in that. And there wasn't any damage on any of the potatoes. We've sent the soil samples back off to the labs, and they haven't come back yet. I have spoken to the labs. The labs only do account on root feeding nematode. They do not do account on the beneficials, the predators and the beneficials. So when you get a PCM count coming back, it's only counting for the root feeders and not the rest. Whereas actually a biological soil analysis, you get the full lot. So you're getting a full count on the predators, bacterial, fungal, and the root feeders. So looking more into the science, we found out that nitrates weaken plant tissues and cells. This is known. I think any farmer who knows if you throw a load of nitrate fertilizer onto a plant, it weakens it. Anyway, nitrates prevent plants from complexing carbohydrates and proteins, and of course, and that weakens the plant naturally. Just like if we're weak, we get affected by disease and pests. It's exactly the same with the plants. So you're weakening the plants. It's not able to get the full 42 elements from the sand, silts, and clays in the soils. NPK only provide 3, so it's just an unhealthy plant, and hence diseases coming through. So what Paul is now doing, Paul, Pete, and Matt are doing, is they're actually looking for insect and fungal attacks as signs of poor health. We then go in and treat it with microbes, and we've now got what we call a spectrograph or a BRICS machine, which we can actually tie to a drone and fly it over his potato fields, and it will indicate the healthy plants and the unhealthy plants. We can then go in with the microbes, inject those into the soil, and we have seen the plants become healthy almost within 48 hours. This is where science is going. So this is just a little gizmo that you put onto a drone and fly across the field and tell you which plants are likely to get blight and which ones aren't. You then make sure you treat them so you don't get blight. Technology is going. This is great. This is the best project. I'm very excited about this. So as I said earlier, this is all about the farmers. It's not about me. This is giving the control back into the farmers. So this was in Rwanda. We can teach anyone to use the microscope. We're working very closely with Digital Jersey to load it onto a program so that it comes back to Jersey from anywhere in the world. Soil samples have been done. They come back to Jersey on a computer. That then gets translated for the farmer. It gets chucked back out to the farmer as what sort of microbes they're missing in their soils and how they ought to make them using composts and get them back in, and what cover crops So this is very important for Jersey, I think, because we're gathering soil data from around the world. We're the only place doing it. Soil data also includes soil carbon. So we're now beginning to understand what soil carbon levels there are around the world, and we're just keeping all this data here thanks to Digital Jersey. So I'm able to go back to them and tell them what compost piles to make. So the one at the end was a fungal compost pile for his trees. The middle one was a neutral one. And this one here, which has got lots of green material in, was a bacterial pile, which he's actually going to be, so the fungal one's for the trees, and this one is for, this one here is for some of his grasses, some of the lawns, the kikuyu grasses, because out in Rwanda, kikuyu grass is everywhere, and we wanted to do. This is the Digital Jersey website where the farmer or anyone can go onto, take a soil sample themselves, enter the information, and then the results is spewed out. And we're getting some amazing data coming in around the world. It's very interesting. So this is what it's all about. Sea lettuce is really just a symptom of a system that is not working. We're all part of this. This is not farmers' fault. There's probably more grass, lawns and things in Jersey than there are fields for all I know, and I know there's a lot of NPK fertilisers going on them. So, we mustn't look at farmers by themselves. This is everyone. We all have a responsibility to build Jersey's natural capital account, which is soil. We only have one island. If you look at the soil as a bank account, is it in the red or is it in the black? Personally, I think it's in the red because we're getting sea lettuce, we've got poison reservoirs, we've got high nitrate levels in our drinking water, we've got high cancer rates, we've got high diabetes. This all comes back to the soil. Ground zero. It is what it is, and we only have one little island, so we've got to look after it and do what we can to do whatever. And we're all working together, so we're not trying to change anyone's habits. We're just trying to improve them and work with them and try and get everyone through this, whoever it is. That's all the science behind it. If you want it, you can go get it. I think that's it. Any questions?
We did create Q&A at the end.
Yep.
We'll stick to the agenda. So thanks, Glenn.
Thanks, Glenn.
To question Glenn a bit later. Jackie, do you want to do a little bit more?
Yeah. Excuse me, I'll just change that. I'm just bringing that up. Those bacteria that Glenn was as well. And the problem with NPK fertilisers, things like that, you're getting stuck in this cycle, but you haven't got unhealthy plants, so you put things like glyphosate in. You may or may not have heard the debate on the media about whether glyphosate causes cancer or not. That aside, they can harm your mitochondria, they can make you tired, and they are tied in with all sorts of nasty diseases. So really, we're much better off without them. So let me just bring that one up again. Weeds back down here. It used to be this machine could cope with several open at once, but it's I'm getting on a bit. So yes, here we were with Clint. Now I particularly like that picture. So I went up to visit all the fields. And this one was where I took a sample of healthy soil. Now, a healthy soil versus a bad soil. If it's been a bit dry, then it rains. And you go out into the field, one's got good soil and one's got bad, and you pick up a clump like that. You know when it's dry, the poor soil, so it just runs through fingers like sand. Certainly the fields opposite us, on a summer's day when it's bare and it's blowy, it's just all over our house. So it's been raining, you pick them up, go like that, squeeze tight. I open up my fist with the bad soil, it's still a lump. There's no air, no space, nothing in it. And I look closely and no worms. This one, I go like that. And it falls more into like pea-shaped things. It doesn't fall through my fingers, it doesn't stay in a lump. And I look closely and I can see roots and fungi and worms. That's how it should be. And that's what we were seeing there. So, healthy soils, let me see one. I went up to the field. Oh, it was absolutely magic, and I'm so disappointed with the photos. I like to think I'm a good photographer, but I absolutely failed. There were so many butterflies just flying around at top speed. I couldn't capture them. Absolutely beautiful. Oh, there's Glyn. You see how small these are? That is his regenerative field there. 40k. That's what it would cost to treat or to set up a trial. 40k is also what it cost for the real Sea Letters Conference. Not the real one, sorry. The original international one that was set up by DFI. 40k, in fact, some people are saying it's even more than that. Now, you could say it was money well spent because we've set up stuff around the world. I say we, they did that, but we're talking with them all. Eddie Noel will tell you, well, we've actually saved that money because the guy from New Zealand said, well, we tried building an outflow, making the outflow much further out, sending the nitrate-rich water, and it didn't work. And it cost a lot of money to build. So Eddie said, therefore we've saved all this money because we're not going to strand ourselves. The problem is, 5 years ago, we found that out for ourselves anyway by sending some drogues out into the water and tracking where it would go. And they came straight back in. So we already knew it would work. How about 40k, which given the profligate spending of the government at the moment, in the States, is an absolute drop in the ocean, starts going towards people like Paul Carey, or saying, you don't have to say, look, we'll give you this money, do what you want with it, although farmers aren't paid per virgin, could say, try this.